Russians do well to not even eke out, but manfully and full of swagger in the end in their performance. One of the teams to watch in this year's tournament, methinks. But up against a monster of an outfit physically. Mike's over Ruslan Littenforth. 4-1. Number 20. Full of giants is this Spartak Moscow team. Admittedly, not as big as last year's team. Nikita Morginov, arguably the biggest man on the squad. And so they're up early. Good little tester for Azola Chobeni. Donase Poxberg is 15 years old. The midfielder, watch out for his knitting together in the midfield. He's a neat player.
We'll certainly see a very disciplined Spartak Moscow, as we did yesterday, making life very difficult for Budvisvits. They remain very compact at the back. They do move as a unit. Not much space between the lines of the midfield and the strikers and the defense, keeping it very compact. So a lot of creativity on the part of Pirates is going to be needed if they were to unsettle the defense of the Russians.
The Russians are the most successful club formed in 1924, that being from a Russian participation. They're currently coached by Italian Massimo Carrera, of players from all corners of the globe. And they'll be looking to ensure that they continue the lifeblood of the senior team, FC Spartak Moscow. As we have a early tester for that defense, I don't know if they're going to be winning too many headers, are the London Pirates against his back four. They do well to win that one. There was a Neo Mumble. Did well to rise. Now here we go. Going through the gears already are London Pirates, a clash of styles. Augustine Mashonoka, arguably, has produced the goal of the competition thus far. Although FC Rizhani may have something to say about that, the Russians have something to say through Denis Vaizlin. The shot comes in, what a stunner! They definitely had something to say. And they said, how about that? Elika Browski, the captain, with a monster of a shot that beat Fanny Raluzinga. He had no chance.
Очень хорошая удара. What a great shot from the captain. Top of the corner, the speed of the right winger just coming to the fore. The ball bobbled, and what a shot from more than 18 yards out of the area.
That's a snorter. Not sure what she said, you'll translate it for us a bit later. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter, because in any language, that's wonderful. Magnifique.
We've really been spoilt with some great goals in this tournament so far, and we're only in the second day, Tim.
Only in the second day, long way to continue. Man, we've seen some snorters, some absolute worldies. In FC Regina, a game, we saw a wonderful team goal, 4 touches, back of the net, didn't even touch the ground. And that one almost through the roof of Fanny Raluzingan apart there, from the left foot of Ilya Orevsky. Now, how do Pirates approach this one? You would think that maybe thinking to themselves, hold on a minute, we were in a similar position yesterday. It may have taken them a few more minutes, and then what Black African Hopsolo managed to do.
Certainly the fact that they could come back from a 1-0 deficit yesterday.
Yep.
Orlando Pirates' players will be believing that if they just compose themselves, they do have the ability to come back and score some more, but it's definitely going to be a little bit more difficult against a stubborn Russian defense.
Nice approach play there from Pakachuchu's under-17s. Really are easy on the eye now. Easy on the eye as all are the Russians, showing that they can also mix and match it with the best run up there in the tournament. That was Ilya Predish. A beautiful weighted pass, getting behind the defense of Pirates. I think the man has just been fouled. Augustine Mashonoka, he's going to be key to anything positive Orlando Pirates do in getting back into this game. Apologizes to the referee, does Oya Boyoshit.
Certainly the live wire in the Orlando Pirates outfit, alongside the captain, Buddha. The blonde-haired attacking midfield is going to be very pivotal to the comeback if there's going to be one today.
It's always players with the funky hairstyles there that make you stand up and notice. It's one thing to have a funky hairstyle, but it's also something else to get jiggy with it when the ball is at your feet, when you're nice with it, just to match it as well. Definitely has a talent in abundance. Does the 17-year-old Munawako Val. He's in fact in his second year in the tournament.
And a powerful shot behind that frail body.
One thing I've noticed, particularly with this year's edition of the future champions Gauteng tournament, the technique that the players have brought to the fore this year has gone up tenfold almost. Really have seen some superb goals.
We just witnessed the likes of Espanyol. Most of the players under the age of 16, and the technical prowess is just a marvel to watch.
As you would expect from a Spanish contingent, the skipper Buda gives it over to his teammate to Mr. Campi. One 17-year-old to another. Can Trobeni get there? No, he doesn't. They nip in ahead of him. There was a final set Yellen. My word, some of these Russian names will have to help me out here. No 11 letters in that man's surname, that being the number 9 final set Nikoyan. Prince Lekerte, the man who's fouled in that instance. Guys just perhaps looking to just settle the nerves a bit and get themselves going, as we see that foul on 17-year-old Prince Lekerte. Oh, great strength there from Siabonga Buda. Can't be easy pitting your physical prowess up against the likes of Ilya Prelius. Now they are moving forward through the gears. Other Russian through Denilis Veselin. Of course, the Russians, as we see, latest foul on Peki Kele.
You mean the general, am I right?
Yep, the general, but this time the footballer. No wonder if Peki Kele, the centre-back, has a similar policy of shooting on sight. That being in football terms anyway.
Spartak Moscow really using the big striker up front as an outlet. Every time the defense wins the ball, that's the first point of reference, and looking to play off the striker. Immediately you find the wingers bombing forward, and that is exactly how it resulted in the first game. So a typical Russian attack move. They always find themselves with speedy wingers, and that's a Russian philosophy or way of playing. Spartak has certainly kept to the norm.
Your time down there in sunny Russia.
Sunny for 3 months only.
Sunny for 3 months only. Thank you for catching the satire there. Those are some of the small nuances of life in Europe there, and some of us aren't privy to. I'm sure the food is different out there. Times of going out and perhaps just almost becoming a tourist wherever you're stationed becomes different. Or a lovely pass there to move it forward. The Russians are definitely feeling it. Nikita Iosov was the latest to get behind the Paris defense. That channel on the left-hand side is proving quite profitable. They've been able to put money in the bank already once. They nearly did twice.
It's certainly a known fact that South African teams, we normally struggle against a very organized European outfit.
They're looking to unshackle themselves through that man, Dennis Veselin. So just overran the ball a bit there. Was always stretching for it. And you were saying in terms of South African flair and skills up against the might of well-organized European teams.
Always seems to struggle. So what the Orlando Pirates is going to need to do, because the Russians move very strong together as a unit. So you're going to have to rotate that ball quickly from the left to the right, or vice versa, so that you can have individual battles one-on-one, and that is where the skill factor would come in, and you could create numerical advantage and hopefully one or two more opportunities for goal scoring.
They look to gain entry to Dumelo Sibasha, the left back, but the ball evaded him. In fact, there was Lungelo Makampi who made that run to the far side to us. I think there's something as well that you just mentioned that South African teams can take from this cultural exchange. How the different teams around Europe go about being so organized. We saw the Italians, how they also move in unison. The Russians aren't too different either in their approach. The Spanish as well, fluid in terms of the collective movement. Spartak Moscow last year able to put together arguably one of the best performances in the competition. A 15-0 win against the Football School of India. Danilo Prashliakov, who got 6 on the day, alongside Igor Ilin. Kirill Fall as well, got a couple. In fact, they boasted the tournament's eventual top goal scorer. You know that man, Danilo Prashnikov, eventually finished off on 11. Last turn there from Chobeni.
Speaking to Amanda Dlamini in the build-up, and she rightfully mentioned that this tournament is so rewarding, not only for the players on the field, not only for the coaches on the field, but just a diverse mix of cultures, and this is where you make a lot of friends. You know, I'm sure that the teams living together in the same hotel, traveling side by side, coming up against each other. This is a stage where the different cultures meet, and this is just the beauty of football and the beauty of sport.
Yeah, you mentioned different teams living in close proximity of each other. They may be the best of enemies on the pitch, but they are quite close friends off of it. I know Thursday is a day where the teams get off and they're able to go around likes of Vilakazi Street to take in some of the local culture here in South Africa that we can provide. Nice little touch from the organizers. Of course, the tournament in its 10th year, celebrating a decade in unearthing the next batch of Lionel Messi's, the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, and so on and so on.
Certainly a lot of talent out here in this tournament, especially this year in the 10th edition, and I'm sure that at least 30% of these boys will make it professionally. The difficult part of junior football is that there's only so many players that eventually trickle through to the professional ranks, and one just hopes that alongside of the disciplines that you encounter and learn in football, if one applies it in any aspect of your life, it just builds on a success. So the line for being a professional soccer player or not, it's a very thin one. Most of the times we do think that the more talented, more gifted players make it through, but unfortunately, or fortunately I should say, is that the hard-working ones, the disciplined ones, are the ones that will eventually filter through.
I was actually going to ask you that. You took the words right out of my mouth as Pirates look to grab the game with the scruff of the neck through the youngster Lungila Makampi. Ashona Kapit into the ball as the Russians march forward through their skipper, Olya Boshkov. Overcooks that one. Great point you raise. I was going to ask you, the higher you go as a football professional, does it boil down to more natural talent, or is it purely down to the hard workers tend to reap the rewards?
Certainly the latter. Hard work will get you there, but we always say it's easy to get there. The difficult thing is to stay there, the consistency that's needed, the discipline that's needed. You come across a lot of distractions. the money gets thrown on you, the attention gets thrown on you, and certainly the ability to just keep the focus between the four lines is always a challenge. And the players that are fortunate to understand that are the ones that sees themselves playing at the high level and playing for 15, 16 plus years.
The pitch looking a bit like a war zone. Some of the Russian players taking strife. Ilya Predesh being one of them. Out of the walk-in wounded is Denis Veslin, who's hobbling off, really struggling. Does look like he should be able to continue. You see why he's a bit of discomfort. Oh, no one close to him at all. Wonder if he tweaked something in his knee, or is it a muscular injury?
He's certainly been the outlet for the Russian side. As soon as the captain picks it up in the midfield, he looks for the striker. If the striker comes short, Veslin makes his diagonal run behind the defense, and it's caused a few problems for the left back of Orlando Pirates.
As Chobeni is in pocket of space, gives it to Mahlonaka, showing exactly what Sticker mentioned. Does love to have a pop at goal. He is quite more than capable. Perhaps getting a bit of a telling off from the technical team, saying, oh, better options available, son.
I don't blame him for taking a chance. Yesterday he took a chance and it ended up in the back of the net. Superb goal by the youngster, and looking to duplicate that. Flashes of Tlompo Kakana there.
What's that old saying? If you don't buy the ticket, you don't win the lottery. One day is one day, Sticker. I was touching a bit about your experiences out there in Russia. It must be quite a big culture shock when you end up there.
Certainly it is certainly a big culture shock, you know. Firstly, the language you have to contend with. And
now it's the language of football on display as the Russians come in attacking. Ilya Predesh with a decent inviting ball on the edge of the box. Did get to the byline and was able to cut back a ball, but no takers for Predesh. Strong tackle, well timed to tackle at that from Areshnei Leveshki.
Spartak Moscow certainly came to play today, first to every ball, winning every tackle, every duel. As soon as they win the ball, they look to go forward. The defense pushes up nicely, forcing Orlando Pirates backwards. And in this opening stanza, it really looks like Spartak Moscow is really searching for the 3 points today.
Well, definitely would love the 3 points as we see that ball again from Ilya Predesh. Did well to keep the ball in, and then B to at least manufacture some sort of chance for any on-rushing runners, but there were none. Can they find an in from this corner? They go deep. It's all defended by Tumisikampi.
Pirates have to be on high alert from set plays, because we see the size of the Russians, and Pirates not the biggest of players, so for the corner we're going to have to certainly maybe not do a man-on-man. They're going to have to convert to a zonal way of defending this corner. But certainly going to have to react first to the ball if they were going to win these aerial duels.
Keep an eye out for the big number 37, Nikita Morkinov. They miss him in the front post. He made that front post run, but referee Brett Hansen has spotted something. Pirates survive from that one. 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes remaining off the first half. That's absolutely blown and flown by. Really has been entertaining. The first 20 minutes are belonging to the Russians. And from that lovely goal from Ilya, Bogayosh really sprung them into life and shook Pirates to the core. And ever since they've been trying to recover. Oh, lovely little weighted header. The Pirates come knocking, and it's that easy. If the Sichav, that's that sugar. That sugar ding ding from Spamantam Cezana. Lovely approach play. Out of nothing that they created their way back in this game. It's 1-1. 9 minutes remaining of the first half.
What a well-taken goal by the Pirate striker. Certainly came out of nothing. They picked up the second ball. Well taken volley. Waited nicely for that ball just to drop down, and similarly to the earlier goal, we see a type of a half volley, and his team is back in contention.
Back in contention indeed. They had to find a moment of brilliance. Spamandam Cezana, man from Freihater, did exactly that, and Giants have shown in this tournament that this year they have bounce back ability. Really can't discard Mnyamang Nkani. Aiba Nkani. Sticker, that wasn't such an easy finish. If you actually break it down in a half volley, as a tackle comes in. What does the referee? Brett Hansen points to the spot. Nikita Izyov within seconds of getting back some reprieve in this game. Pirates have conceded a penalty to the dismay of coach Simon Marange.
This is exactly the phases of the game that coaches are preaching: before halftime, after halftime. After scoring a goal, after conceding a goal, you are most vulnerable, and certainly a penalty, mistimed tackle from the goalkeeper.
Nikita Izyov knew exactly what he was doing, just left a little behind for Fani Raludzingana to just make contact with, and down he went. Now can he redeem himself? Fani Raludzingana, he's up against a man, he's fouled. Nikita Izyov. It's Izyov versus Raludzingana. Let's to see who finish off the half stronger. Izyov steps up, straight down at the middle. They were down, or rather they will hold back, and within a few seconds they hit the front again to the FC Spartak Moscow. Oh, this is gonna be a humdinger of an affair.
What a powerful, well-taken penalty there. He put the ball down, focused, looked at the keeper, kept his head down, and straight down the middle. A typical striker's penalty.
That's a confirmation of the goal scorer. Nikita Izyov, he made it and then dusted himself off and then took it straight down the middle. Pirates will be disappointed with that one. You mentioned those crucial moments that coaches often harp on about. Russians look like they're coming back for more. They're back in, the Russians. What can they do? It's Veselin. Good block. Strong tackle from Siyabonga Puda. What does referee Brett Hansen say? The Russians didn't appreciate that. Going towards him. Ilya Proshkyov, I don't know how good Siyabonga Puda's Russian is.
It's a suicidal tackle from the captain. He's certainly a bit frustrated, you know, just getting back into the game and conceding another one. It's not going to be easy here, but end-to-end stuff here. It's good to see the reactions from the players, because normally after a tackle like that, which is a bit rough, after looking at it, it's not that bad. I thought he showed a bit of studs. He never really showed studs. Yes, it was late. He did catch the man first, but certainly the intention was to go for the ball.
At normal speed, it looked much more aggressive than he was. Siyabonga Puda, though, confirmation of the yellow card, was aggressive enough for Brett Hansen, and he becomes the first player in the referee's book.
As I was saying, Temba, good advert for football and junior football is like after the foul, you never seen players rushing over, pushing each other, throwing handbags. We let the referee deal with the situation and get on with the game.
Speaking about the youngsters, I'm not worried, too worried about them. I saw the club, Brugge coach, he was the club, Iron de Haag coach, I beg your pardon, he absolutely lost his mind at points in the game when things weren't going their way. Some point calling the officials clowns.
Certainly a game of emotions.
Yep, game that can make grown men cry. Now Ilya Bureshkov looking to drive home the advantage. Can the Russians do so? They go deep. Why not when you have the towering power of Nikita Morgunov? It's difficult to mark a man that tall. No matter how good a spring you have on you, no matter how defensively organized you are. Just side netting though for Morgunov.
Just after a quick glance at Morganov, I thought it was our own Matthew Booth. I hope he's not listening to me.
I think he'll take that as a compliment, given that amount of hair Morganov has as compared to our very own Booth. Still got nothing but love for you, Matthew. 5 minutes remaining of the first half. It's absolutely flown by. Really been enthralling, really been exciting. It's been intense. It's gone from one camper to another.
Pirates getting a little bit desperate. I think it was a little too far out for Buddha to try, but you don't shoot, you don't score.
It's almost as if that second goal has knocked the stuffings out of them. Not as fluid or not as deliberate in what they do when they have the ball. It was so apparent in opening 10 minutes. Mashonoka was the metronome, Chobeni, the one who knits it together, and Buddha who defends and cleans up. They were quite deliberate in what they were doing, but ever since that second goal, that's a pattern of play has almost gone out the window slightly.
And the responsibility falls onto the captain's shoulders. You need that one guy that's going to start talking to the boys. Guys, lift your head, let's get started again. And certainly Buddha looks like he's there. He's getting flying into the tackles, trying to shoot from out of the box, and certainly looking like a good leader for Orlando Pirates. And we do see that they do have, as you mentioned, the bounce back ability, if that's a word.
We just made it one. Buddha, of course, is also one who has to tread quite carefully. He's on a yellow. The only player of those 22 on the pitch who is on a yellow. Thus far, anyway. That's a mumble. Moves it over to Mashonoka. Goes far too deep. I'm sure for Coach Simon Maranga's liking. Buddha is used to operating in deeper areas. Really does a sterling job of fielding or shielding his backline and then unleashing the likes of Mashonoka further forward. Looking to get further forward are the Russians. And the nearly gifted possession to goal scorer Nikita Izyov.
I was speaking to Augusto Palacios yesterday after the Pirates game, and he agreed with me when I said they looked a bit nervous in the first half and never really gave the team width. And in the second half, immediately when they opened the play a bit, they started to be able to thread through those passes and play those neat 1-2s that Orlando Pirates is known for.
Oh, look at that pass there from Izyov. He asked for it back. Instead, his teammate says, no ways, mate, you already got a goal. Dennis Ferdinand says, I also want one. I also want to get in the action. Great save from Fanero Letingana.
What a great save from the keeper, keeping his team in the match, because one would have think that if the Russians managed to get the third goal.
7, he's a short target. Again, he makes a front post run. Not for the first time. The ball, Joe, just slightly overcooked for the lanky Morganov. As we hit 30 minutes. One minute of referee's optional time added. Now that man, Siawangapon Buddha looks to spread the ball as Pirates look to at least end off for the half with a bit of a parity. Well read by Lungila Makampi. They've been able to isolate Chobeni quite well of the Russians, as well as Spamandam Gezano. Those got a goal. He's barely had any touches or any link-up play with any players around him. This man has been impressive. Nikita Izyov, as referee Brett Hansen, brings an end to a very exciting and impressive half of football. Both teams who are desperate for the win. Spartak Moscow yesterday could only manage a draw. Pirates took all the 3 points against Club Brugge, but it's the Russians through a stunning effort from the skipper Eda Bruskov, who hit the front. After that, it was Nikita Izyov who dusted himself off and finished off the 23rd minute penalty. Spamanga says another had thought he had gotten Pirates back into the thick of things 2 minutes before that. It wasn't to be for coach Simon Maranga's men.
Well, a pulsating first half between these two sides in Group C. Orlando Pirates up against FC Spartak of Russia. It was the Russians who drew first blood. However, Orlando Pirates with a quick reply, but it wasn't enough as they conceded a penalty. Remember that this is the same Orlando Pirates side that came from a goal down to win 3-1 yesterday. Can they do it here again on your World of Champions? Stay tuned to see what will transpire in the second half.